I'm 32 years old and everyone I know buys me Harry Potter themed gifts because it is one thing to love a book and an entirely other thing to tattoo a lightning bolt behind your ear because you are obsessed with a book.
I love sports teams the way teenage girls love boy bands. The All Blacks are my Backstreet Boys, Manchester United, my Westlife. I don't just watch games, I live them. Heart thumping like I'm in the front row of a mosh pit.
My mother loves Matt Damon shooting a gun as much as she loves my father. So I have to assume that this is her fault. This inability to read a novel I love just once, this passion for political discourse,
The consuming comfort I find in the fictional worlds I have chosen to hide inside. I have been watching Grey's Anatomy for more than half my life. I have seen every episode at least 3 times. That is 676 hours of Grey's Anatomy, and I'm not ashamed. I'm basically halfway to being a doctor. I don't like to do things by halves, so you can trust me to commit.
To live is to love with everything I have. And I broke myself over boys who did not deserve my giving for years. Dug myself into stories and poems to try and release this ache. But sometimes shipping 2 fictional characters with an unhealthy obsession is safer than giving all of yourself to reality.
I'm in love with being in love, and I always want to love like how I did when I was 13. Love like how I felt when I first found feminism.
How I can burn an album into my brain for weeks on repeat. How I can finish reading my favorite book and immediately start it again.
I want the urgency of teen girl love to live inside of me forever. We say what boys love is a hobby, a valid reason to play video games for 6 hours.
They will literally set their city on fire if their hockey team wins or their football team loses.
But somehow they have never been told their passion is hormonal and hysterical. Their love is excusable and authentic. To love like a teenage girl is to be told that you love the wrong things and you love them in the wrong way.
To be called teeny boppers, groupies, fangirls.
To be told that you are obsessed, consumed, crazed. But they do not know to be a girl is to power entire economies. You think makeup would exist if we stopped buying it? You think Netflix would have brought back Gilmore Girls if we didn't ask for it? Who would the Beatles even be?
Teenage girls literally made Titanic the highest grossing film of all time by watching Leonardo DiCaprio die over and over again. It's because we wanted to imagine someone loving us so hard they would sacrifice themselves for us to live.
How dare we criticize girls for loving too hard? Like that's not what will change the world.
Like that's not better than using your fist to show your feelings.
Like we couldn't run the world's power grid on the energy between 2 teenage girls screaming to each other at a pop concert or a sports game or as they skip down the street at night.
Watch how they light up the neighborhood.
Single-handedly make a boy band world famous. Choose the trends and brands and next world leaders. Watch how they become the next world leaders.
Imagine if the people who love the hardest were the people who made the rules.
Imagine if we emulated teenage girls instead of dismissing them.
Too many times in my life, I've been told my feelings were invalid. Been called crazy, weird, and obsessed.
But being a girl has taught me to love regardless. That loving is best when it is whole-bodied and without end. That there is nothing to life if you do not love, like no one is watching.